Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and Neon Icon is the latest full-length LP from Houston rapper Riff Raff, a man who was a Gucci mystery wrapped up in a Versace enigma and locked away into a Louis. His recent rise in popularity has been pretty unlikely, considering that he was an MTV reality show vet whose 15 minutes of fame were up. But miraculously, through a series of mixtapes, singles, features and collaborations, and James Franco essentially playing him in that recent Spring Breakers movie, Riff Raff has arrived to his rightful place as a musical entertainer on Diplo's Mad Decent label. And through that label, he is dropping his largest commercial release yet, Neon Icon. Now, Riff Raff is not your average rapper. He's a goofy ass motherfucker. Yes, but it's a little more ambiguous than that. You can just take Riff Raff as being silly, but he has some undeniably catchy and absurdly clever lyrics. Or you can take him seriously, but he very clearly doesn't even take himself that seriously, and a lot of his lyrics clearly do have a humorous intent to them. Riff Raff mostly relies on a kind of comedic shtick that admittedly does get old after a while, and even Riff Raff himself knows that, which is why he tries to break things up a little bit on his other projects and this album with slower tracks and ballads and sketches and radio-friendly pop rap jams. Avenues where Riff Raff's silly inflection and lyrics don't have quite as much comedic impact. Kind of like the song Time, a track where I don't even think the song is supposed to be funny. I think it's actually supposed to be meaningful. A song that's a bit of a personal look back at Riff Raff's past, musing on the social construct of time, talking about how it passes by. A dime a dozen observation that even Cal Truchesta could point out to me.
Time moves the day like away.
It sure does, friend. Admittedly, I'm not really impressed with how philosophically shallow this track is and how weak of an attempt this song is to stir up an emotional moment. And his singing on this song is straight garbage. Yeah. It's moments like the closing track on here, VIP, Pass to My Heart, where I hope that what Riff Raff is doing, his image, his songs, everything, is really a shtick, a big, fat shtick, because the idea of someone making this song seriously frightens me. But part of Riff Raff's persona is that the things he says and the way he looks and the songs that he sings are all worth kind of gawking at. The gawk is an essential part of the Riff Raff formula, and now that he has a pretty significant amount of fans who enjoy his trap-flavored songs that have all these ridiculous sort of tongue-in-cheek absurd lyrics, you've got to bring these people in and also give them something to gawk at, because if you're not, then they're just simply enjoying your music. And even though this is the worst song on the album by far, and I'm very happy that it's at the end of the LP as opposed to in the middle of it, there are other terrible tracks on this LP too, like the song Cool It Down with Amber Kaufman singing on the hook, a song that with its light rat beat and its acoustic guitar sample on the song, it feels like I'm listening to a Whitey Ford Sings the Blues song. To go back to the song Time, I feel sort of the same there as well, except there's a banjo in the background of all things. It's actually maybe a little bit more like that terrible collaborative track that Nelly came out with years ago with Tim McGraw. Holding my head. It's not musically identical, but it is similarly corny and a really horrific blend of genres. And then there's songs on here where, whether they're jokes, serious, I can't quite figure it out. I'm just shaking my head at them, like Maybe You Love Me. A song that just doesn't have that Riff Raff flavor to it. It's a generic radio pop hit with a chorus that has very little bearings on anything that Riff Raff is saying in the verses to the track. You could plug any rapper into this song and it would work just as well, which is why it's so disappointing to hear it on a Riff Raff album, because he's nothing if not weirdly unique, and songs like this just failed to live up to that reputation. There are a handful of songs on this thing that I think are great, like the intro to this LP, which is absolutely perfect except for what sounds like some surfer dudes. Riff Raff's verses, his bars are insanely hilarious, and the beat on this track. Sounds like something out of NWA, Straight Outta Compton. Then after this, you get the crux of this album, those trap bangers with those Riff Raff isms in the lyrics. Wetter Than Tsunami, How to Be the Man, AQUABERRY Dolphin, Tiptoeing in My JAWDINZ. Amazing tracks off of this LP, some of Riff Raff's best material yet in this style. Really what Riff Raff does best, period. What we know him for, and yet he does it so seldomly on this LP. It's just disappointing that there aren't more tracks like this in the track listing. But if there's anything I can rely on Riff Raff for into the future, I'm sure that he will keep me gawking and he will keep me guessing. I'm feeling a strong 5 on this LP. Transition, if you've given this record a listen, what did you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? Riff Raff? Neon Icon? Forever.